Okay. Hello, good evening, good morning, teacher. Today I'm here because I'm gonna explain you my final internship report or portfolio that gets all the evidence that I got in this great experience that I have in this particular college that is Francisco Morazan. For me, it's a great honor to be part of it. Well, I was assigned with a group of 11, 12, 11 double L and 12 till the key to the F. So yes, well, basically, I got this little portfolio that I have to bring up every single time that I was in my class. So it is basically the a weekly practice planning didactic sequence in which we have I have to archive and to modify the some statements that the professor provides me and show me. So this is basically what I have, right? This is you can see. I hope you can see. Well, let me read basically what are the some things that these things include. The first of all, the subject, then the level, the teacher, the week that we are gonna make, and the semester that was the term. Okay, so he was pending me to put learning objectives, achievement indicators, evidence, evaluation, criteria, types of evaluations, also activities, initial activities, development activities, and close-up activities. Well, this was the paper that we make all around the different groups that we have, the different week that we also date, and it was one, two, let me see, three, let me see how much, four, five, and six. Okay, this was basically the weeks in which we were I was developed the classes until the practicum will get off from the physical problems that Panama got. So yeah, that was more of it. Also, I got my list of students that I was dealing with all these internship classes number 6, and this is the Meduca's list that they give me to me. So I get printed off, and I got the list of 11 double 8, 12B, 12F, 12K, and 12L. This is basically much of the papers that they were at they were providing me. So I got to have this print to get like an unconsciously of what I have to develop, what are some things that I must do as a professor. How about this? I need to be make my own activities related to the topics that Meduca provides us every single weekend. So the first one, I got this evidence from here. I'm now sharing my screen. So this is basically the first activity that I have made that was food around the world. Basically, I got like a brief explanation of it in which I select like different countries, right? And then they have to draw. Yes, they had to draw, and also they have to put the name of the country in English. All of this, they have to present in me in a conversational class in which they have to tell me the pizza, the countries, and yeah, and also obviously the food must be in the same country of it. Okay, this is another one, but um, I don't got really evidence of it because it was a very brief dialogue that we were making. I also use my cell phone. We use digital technologies to be applied in the classroom because I consider this is important if we want to have like how do I say this, like a little brief explanation or what I need or what they have to learn in the class. So basically, in every single dialogue that we were making out, I say to them, hey guys, you must have to bring up clothes, you must have to bring and also differential types of dresses in which you can develop your dialogue. If you don't bring this, I'm gonna discount you points. And this is basically what I make most of the time in this dialogue activities. I also make like two dialogues when I was my first time in the school. So this is one, and I Okay, no, this is not the other dialogue, but this is another activity that I have made. Basically, they have to create like a flashcard, like this side, for example, a cell phone, and they have to put the verbs in past, the verbs in present, and the verb in future. They have to learn and know how does this are translated in the Spanish language, right? This was like one point of it, and then the second point of the activity was basically that they have to bring up all the flashcards. So this is why by this side we have like a flashcard activity in which I put a grade because they bring it up, and this was representing like two of the notes for the final grades. Okay, this is another dialogue. Obviously, every single letter was very different. So this dialogue was to another content, to another topic, to another interest of it. For example, using the first one, I used the past participle. Now in here, I use the present perfect progressive. I think so. Using ing, is or are. Okay, this is another activity that I have made to my school. It was basically my culture and traditions, and it was like making. Oh well, having first of all, I got like a little, how do I say this? Like they give me a module located at a page with a lot of things in which they have for example, they have a reading context in which I have to, well, we in the classroom must have to converse conversate, yes, make a little conversation, and I say, hey, Carol, please read me this. Christopher, read me this. Cesar, read me this. Joseph, read me this. And we were like making ideas of the class, preparing us to develop this information because this was the point of the activity. Such of them, we have to read, analyze, and write the most important information for this activity. Okay, finally, I got the last one that was basically this. That was to reading comprehension. I said I make one of it, and then I make another reading comprehension, but for the cultural aspects of how does it is important in Panama to speak English. So the guys need to put this information in their own words. They have to put the. I was monitoring every single time in the chairs and all these things, and say to them, "What do you think of it? If you don't know how to say a word, let me help you because yeah, this is my job. This is what I really love. This is why I'm here because I'm like an monitoring, like an example, like a guide of how to speak English in the best way, in an easy way, but with a very maintaining like a simple way, but making it more professional. That's a okay. Then I got this final activity. This was the last one because then before I got the, how do you say this, the the marches of all the minery things that were happening in my country in Panama. So yeah, this was the last one. I was basically to make a, yes, making a story using the EA. That is basically I mean the AI is artificial intelligence. So it was basically to make a little use a little app in which we enter the topic, enter the topic that they want to recreate or create. So the artificial intelligence recompose or make like a short reading narrative, and what they have to do, well, basically they have to read this information, and they also need to get ideas of how they can create uh, their own story. So this was an example of it. This is the Diamond Queen that was presented by Caroline, the 11 double L, and basically it's what I say to them: be creative, put it in a page, try to be precise and concise. I also explained the formula of how to create a good narrative. For example, we briefed to the title. The title must be the top one. Then we had the introduction in which we include the most important relevant things of the story, but not telling the whole story of it. like a little hook to be entertained the person that is reading. And also I explained them that the body is very important to get a develop of how the events are showing us every single step by step from the beginning to the final. So I also talked to them about the conclusion. The conclusion is very important and must be sometimes must be precise and concise, but also can be open mind because we doesn't have like a short narrative, or we want the spectator to have like an imagination of how these things must work or how the things must go. But this is was much of them that I had made with. So yeah, by this side, I'm very proud of the project that I have made. I mean the project and the practical that I have made. I really got a very brief experience with this group. I had never been with 11 and 12 group. So for me, it's a great experience to be here, like as my final practicum. I'm very glad to choose this practical. I mean this career because I really feel like no, I don't know, like I'm part of the class. I feel myself very secure, and I also love this job. You know, so all these things that I have made, all these things that I take from I'm responsible because I was responsible of the class. I make my best effort to make expectation not for the teacher but for me because I know that this was a great such a great experience that was very difficult. But I said if I achieve this in this month, I'm gonna have the best experience that I have. And probably I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be right here because I select every single grade from the most young pre-kindergarten from the top one that was 12th grade. And I'm very proud of it. I think that my students make a good job, really proud of it. I also want to congratulate my Lincoln professor, was a very good professor. Wow. Yes, was a at the beginning we were having this deal because I don't want to how do you say to work the first time the first time to the end, but I got this challenge. I said to him, you know something, professor, I want to work with you right now. So the first time when I came to the school, it was my first experience of it. I had never tried this, but the first time I came, the first time I going to be at work, and then I gonna be working uh, it can be I can tell you how long, but the first week he was right there, but he was just explaining me some things for every single classes. But I monitor myself and the classmates to be by my by my by my responsible. And this is a great experience. And I don't know, I hope in the future I can achieve all my goals that I have proposed in my mind. So this is was much of it, Professor. I really glad that you hear my presentation. Yeah, and I'm very proud of the project and the situation I deal with it. So yeah, hope everything's go well. See you in the next classes. Goodbye, Professor.